Hello, welcome everyone. Uh, Here now in this semester we are going to learn about the digital signal processing practical. Okay, so in this DSP lab you are going to learn about the practicals session, right? So here I am showing you the laboratory journal. Now see, I am showing you the experiments, what experiments you are going to learn in the laboratory. So this is a practical list. Okay, so first experiment is based over the finding of discrete Fourier transform and inverse discrete Fourier transform for a given discrete time signal. Second experiment is based over the implementation of FFT of given sequence. Third is given third is based on determination of power spectrum of a given signal. Fourth experiment is based over the implementation of low pass filter and high pass filter using FIR filter techniques for a given sequence. Fifth is based over the implementation of low pass and high pass filter using IIR filter for a given sequence. Then sixth experiment is based over the implementation of decimations process. 7 experiment is based over the implementation of interpolation process, and last is to study the effect of different windows on FIR filter response. So these are the list of experiments. So now here we are going to cover all the practicals in MATLAB. So this is a MATLAB default screen in front of you. So I hope in third year of engineering you already aware with the MATLAB screen. So I hope there is no necessity to tell you about the MATLAB screen, but some of the students have joined for final year. So here again I am going to just review the screen. So at the top side here you can see the title bar. There you can see MATLAB. I am just adjusting the screen with the screen, right? So MATLAB 7.8.0 R 2009A is shown in the title bar. Then below that there is a menu bar. Okay, you can track, you can see the cursor where I am showing your cursor. Okay, so here it is a menu bar. Menu carries file, edit, view, debug, parallel, debug, desktop, windows and help. Then there is a toolbox. Okay, so here a shortcut view is there related to the menu. So this is a shortcut and fastest clicking point of view. Here you will get a shortcut menu is available. Then below that here you can find total 4 screens are there. Okay, in that 4 screen here I am showing you the first screen. Here current directory is there. In the current directory you will find here the which directory we have selected, okay, and where the our program are located, right? So here you can able to see p1, p2, p3 and like this. Okay, these are the program name and there is a modified date, right? Then very near to this there is a command window. Okay, in that command window you can able to type the command. So whatever the command that you will type here, okay, it get executed over this command prompt. Okay, similarly very near to the command window you can see workspace and command history. Now see here, this is a workspace. Okay, here workspace carries multiple variable that these multiple variable are declared by you. These variables will hold a value, single value or multiple value will be held by this variable along with the minimum and maximum interpretations. Okay, you can able to store multiple value. That value are held by this variable in matrix form, right? Then there is a command window. That command command history window is there. In that command history window you can able to see what command I executed over the command window. Okay, so that's why that command you can able to see here, a list of command which you have executed. Okay, that command list is given in this command history. So this is about the your MATLAB screen. Now we are going to start our first experiment. Okay, so the first experiment point of view, here we will go for understanding of DFT and IDFT, right? Now see, now we are going to start our first experiment. The title of the first experiment is discrete Fourier transform and inverse discrete Fourier transform. Now we do this experiment using MATLAB. Okay, so here MATLAB screen is in front of you. Now here I am opening the MATLAB file, right? So here you can able to see the program. Now here I am first explaining you all the whole the program one by one, and then we will go for executions. Now see, I hope you are familiar with the commands clear all and close all. Okay, what is the purpose of clear? Clear means it clear the earlier screen and variable. Okay, similarly the close all command is used for closing the earlier MATLAB files. Okay, now the next x variable is defined. X is equal to input in bracket single quote, enter the sequence is equal to single quote bracket round bracket complete and semicolon. Okay, now this is a function, input is a function. This function is used for displaying the enter the sequence string over the command window, and it receive data from you. Whatever data will be entered by you, that will be assigned to x name variable. So here x is nothing but x of n. We say x of n is a discrete time signal. So this discrete time signal we will convert into x of k, means we are going to find out the discrete Fourier transform. So when x of n will be passed, you will get x of k. What was the formula of DFT? You know, x of k is equal to summation of n is equal to 0 to infinity x of n into e raised to minus j 2 pi nk by n, right? So this formula we use here. So here now we are going to find out the DFT for 4 point or 8 point. So to enter the length of the DFT, we again use another variable, that is n is equal to input in bracket enter the length of the DFT, right? Now here I said you a formula that x of k is equal to summation of n is equal to 0 to infinity. So here that length we will define by n is equal to 0 to n minus 1. Now here instead of infinity we have defined a finite length, so that finite length will be terminate by n. So here we say n is equal to 0 to n minus 1. Got it? Now the next one statement is related to the subplot. Okay, we plot our result over the screen. Okay, so for that point of view here plot name function is used, but plot name function will display only a single figure over a screen. Now if we have to display multiple graphs over a single screen, then we use subplot name function. In this subplot function 3 parameters are present, 2 to 1, means first parameter, second parameter and third parameter. First and second is telling you here row and column, and third is telling you here a position. So 2 comma 2 comma 1 means 2 by 2 matrix is there, means screen is divided into 4 parts. Okay, and the first place is accommodated by this coming figure, right? So coming plot, that plot we will display over that place. Now second statement is stem in bracket n comma x. Now you know the meaning of stem. The purpose of the stem is to discretize the signal, so that's why here the input signal get discretized. So x of n that we have to show in discretized form, so that's why stem in bracket n comma x is used, right? Now the next one is x label in bracket n. Okay, it is a label given to a graph on x axis, and y label is a label or title is given to y axis. Similarly, title name statement is used for displaying the title for a graph. Now what I am doing here, I am showing you here the execution of this code. Okay, only this code I am showing you. Okay, so you will get an idea that how the program is running, right? Just I am copying this. Okay, and here I am showing you with the help of a new file, right? So I put this code in a new file. Okay, I save it. Okay, I save it as a n1. Okay, and save. Now you can execute it. When you execute, it demands you a sequence, right? So I write here 1 space 2 space 3 space 4. Okay, x of n that I say it is 1 2 3 4, and the length is 4 element I entered, so that's why I write here 4. Okay, once you enter it, immediately you will get a execution of a graph. Okay, here you can see first value is placed over 0, so it is x of 0, it is 1, then at 1 it is 2, at 2 it is 3, at 3 it is 4, and here on x-axis you can find below that x-axis an arrow is given, and on y-axis you will see amplitude and a arrow, right? And a title is given input DFT sequence. Okay, getting everyone? Okay, so this is about the code, okay, that I shown. Okay, now we go for the next line of that code. Okay, now see, I am going to tell you the next statement. X of k, generally we define FFT as a x of k, so that's why xk is a name of variable that I kept here, right? So xk is equal to FFT in bracket x comma n round bracket semicolon. The purpose of this function, the FFT is a name of the function. It is used for finding the discrete Fourier transform. Okay, so this function permits you to find DFT. It demands you two variables. First, a sequence, that is discrete time sequence, and second, the length of that sequence, that is x and n is passed. Okay, so when you pass the two variable, you will get a x of k sequence that I want to display over a command prompt. So for that point of view, I use here disp x of k. Its purpose is to display, this function is specifically used for displaying our data x of k over a command prompt. Okay, so I am showing you execution of this. Okay, so along with the second one file, okay, I put this code here, right? Getting everyone? Are you tracking with this, right? So here I entered these two statement in this file. Now I save it and again do re-executions, right? So again it demands me enter the sequence. So again I re-enter that sequence 1, 2, 3 and 4. Got it? Now again enter the length of the DFT. So it demands me n value, so I paste, I say 4. Once you enter it, immediately you will get the result. Okay, that result is 10 minus 2 plus 2 I, means here generally we will write here in complex form. So that's why in a complex form, instead of j here I is used. Third parameter of x of k is minus 2 and fourth is minus 2 minus I2, right? So this is a output x of k and you will get a graph. Now this is a graph, okay, but I have not plotted it. X of k is not plotted. Now I use that plot function. Okay, I have not copied that code from the code file, right? So again I show you that code. Okay, but before that, here I am going to calculate. Okay, I am going to calculate the magnitude as well as a phase. Okay, so that's why here the magnitude and phase that I am plotting. Okay, I show here how you can able to find the magnitude. So magnitude finding point of view, here a function absolute is used, abs in bracket x of k. So that's why it calculate the absolute value of x of k. It gives you a magnitude. Okay, so that magnitude we are going to plot. Okay, so here again I use a subplot function. It is 2 comma 2 comma 2. Okay, it show you here a plot of magnitude over second place. For that I again giving the function stem in bracket n comma magnitude. N is telling you here on which place you are going to place the value of a magnitude. Okay, so that's why n comma magnitude is given. Okay, now here if we are going to plot that, so along with the plot we will need a label, x axis, y axis and title. So that's why x axis label, y axis label and title is given, right? So I just copy this code, okay, along with this magnitude, okay, magnitude also, okay, and we go to execute this code with this side window, right? Now I paste it, this code, okay, and now execute it, save and run. Okay, here green button is here, okay, you can able to execute it here. Okay, so I put this code, now we execute it. Okay, when you execute, again it demands that sequence, right? 1 2 3 and 4, right? And the length 4. Okay, once you pass, you will get a second graph is plotted over the screen. Okay, it is a magnitude plot. Okay, so over a screen you can able to see this. Okay, on x-axis you can find the value of n, and on y-axis you can see the magnitude. Okay, so that's why in this magnitude plot you can able to see here a value that will be calculated over here. Okay, so here you can able to see that value will get displayed over the graph, right? So here you can able to see both things are in front of you, right? Now we turn toward our problem. Now third point is phase plot. So for finding phase, here a function angle is used. So it will calculate the angle of that x of k. So here we pass x of k to this angle function and you will get the calculation of angle, right? Again we will go for displaying that angle also. Okay, so I write here one extra statement. Okay, here you can able to see that angle. Okay, so directly we will go for plotting it, so that's why again we will plot it. Okay, so at 2 to 3 place it is get plotted, then stem n comma phase plot, again the same funda is utilized here, then x label, y label and title, right? So I just copy this code. Okay, I just copy this code and put it with the next one where we are going to execute step by step, right? I hope you get it. So I put that code and now we execute it, right? Again it demands me the same string 1 2 3 and 4th and right length 4, right? And enter. Once you enter, again you will get the same thing. Okay, but here now if you see graph, okay, this graph is at below side. Okay, so I just show you. Okay, so in this graph you can find the third plot is get plotted. It is a phase plot. Okay, here you can see the phase of that signal. Okay, this you can able to calculate by using formula. Okay, so that's why here with the help of formula of phase as well as magnitude you can able to find these values, right? So whenever you will write this experiment, okay, so that time you go for theoretical calculation, okay, that I will check in your manual, right? As well as you have to do one thing also, input is x of n, that is 1 2 3 and 4, so that's why take it as x of n sequence and find its DFT as well as IDFT. Okay, now, okay, also here one point is, now again here we go for finding the IDFT. So that's why to find IDFT here, we go for the inverse process. So that's why we again do the reversion process from the DFT to original sequence. So that's why that process is called as an inverse discrete Fourier transform. With the help of this, you will get a original x of n sequence. So that's why to get this x of n sequence, here what was the formula? Okay, you know, x of n is equal to 1 upon n summation of k is equal to 0 to n minus 1 or infinity, right? n minus 1 लिखो, oh sorry, k is equal to 0 to n minus 1 और infinity लिखो, और फार्मूला क्या रहेगा? x of k into e raised to, now only plus, j 2 pi n k by n, right? This is the formula of IDFT. Okay, so this IFFT is the name of the function. This function will works very similar to find IDFT. So we use here this function instead of writing, okay, many times here I am giving you the direct ready-made functions for DFT or IDFT. Most of the programmer are taking effort for writing this with the help of loops also, but I have not given you that loop. Okay, most of the time some students are not familiar with that C program, so that's why I left that part. Directly I am giving you here functions, right? So x of n is equal to IFFT in bracket x of k. X of k, that sequence, that whatever we have got, that sequence I pass it here, okay, and you will get x of n. Okay, again we are interested in plotting that, so that's why again here I plot it with respect to n. Okay, so subplot, then stem x of n, and then label. Okay, so I just copy this code. Okay, now instead of copying, I hope this code is the same with that another one file, so that's why I am now interested to run this file only. So when I run, immediately again it switch over the command window. Over that command window, it asks me enter of the sequence. Okay, so I write here 1 2 3 and 4 in square bracket. Don't forget to write in enclose the square bracket. If you are not entering square bracket, okay, if you write only that 1 2 3 4, then the code is not accepted in array form, right? Okay, when you write only 1 2 3 4 without square bracket, it accept it as a single number, 1 as a single number. Okay, so that's why it generates an error. So that's why I am suggesting you here enter your data in square bracket. Square bracket is very similar to your array, right? So enter and then write 4. Okay, so 4 will be n, and again here you will get the output, right? So here now you can see in this window, you can able to see the input DFT sequence as well as output DFT sequence. Here both are same. Okay, input and output DFT sequence are same. Okay, and magnitude and phase plot is shown, right? So this is about your first experiment. Okay, so here I hope you got the first experiment, right? So I suggest you go through MATLAB, execute it, okay, and see the output. Okay, I hope every statement from this program is now cleared. Okay, in case from your side if you have any problem, then ask me over my WhatsApp, right? Thank you.